What's going on, guys? Noob Striker here from Uncharted, bringing you our latest war recap. It's kind of late and kind of got a cold going on, so sorry for the congestion and if I sound tired, but I figured I'd better go ahead and record these in case the replays got wiped. So yeah, this was against another level 6 clan, 65 war wins from France, and as usual, they had an extra Town Hall 9, and this clan actually had really high level heroes compared to what we're used to seeing. Like, you look at this base here, it's a max D Town Hall 9, 1818 heroes, and then another max D Town Hall 9 with 21 and 17 heroes, where usually it's 10-10 is the most we'll see. So they were fairly upgraded at Town Hall 9, but their 8s just couldn't get the job done. So I'll go ahead and start showing the attacks for you. Looking at this base, there's only two logical double giant bomb spots, there and right there. So I decided to just obviously enter from that compartment where the queen is, and that would take out the queen, clan castle, and also trigger any of the bombs in that compartment. And then from there, it's just a surgical hog attack. So go ahead and drop down the two golems. Oh, scouting for a second. And then I'll drop the two golems here in a second. It was really close on time. I think I ended up having 7 seconds left or something like that. So I dropped down both the golems here. I probably could have done better and dropped them simultaneously so the level 4 didn't get targeted by both point defenses, but that's okay. And then just a flood of wall breakers on that corner because wall breakers love running to that corner. And then once this funnel gets created, I go ahead and drop down my queen, and then my king will come in. And the CC Hound was kind of a surprise. I didn't expect it. Otherwise, I would have done like a queen walk on this base and just ignored it. But king still goes in and manages to take down the queen pretty easily. And you can see my queen is still hung up on that hound. But the queen's down, so I just start the surgical from the top left now, dropping a giant and then 3 hogs for each of those point defenses. And then once they get through the first layer, I drop my first heal spell just to sustain them to get to the core. And then start the same thing from the top right, 3 hogs going on each of the point defenses. And I dropped this heal spell on the core because I thought I had more hogs left. I turned out I only had 1 hog left, but that's okay. And then this right here, this second double giant bomb, once this defense went down that's up beside that wizard tower, you can drop hogs directly on that archer tower and remove the pathing completely from that double giant bomb set. So you'll see that the hogs don't even trigger it here. So the archer tower goes down, pathing is removed, and last heal spell goes down. My last heal spell was a lot better, but the one in the core I didn't even need, so I honestly could have saved it for the bottom, because you'll see here there's some Teslas at the bottom that I was also not expecting. But the queen's still up, so she helps a lot. She actually ends up taking out the enemy king here in a second. So I have a few hogs left, not very many, but just enough to get down here and take out these last 2 Teslas. And then you'll see the queen lock onto the enemy king once she takes down that gold storage. So king goes down, and then from there it's just cleanup. Like I did not have much for cleanup, but it was just enough to get the job done. And a 3-star is a 3-star. Which, I mean, a lot of things could have gone a lot more smoothly, and they would have had it not been a fresh hit, but it was a fresh hit, so I just had to go in blind. Now this attack, it's obviously not as good of a base, because heroes are lower, walls are lower, which walls don't matter that much for hog attacks, and the only things that aren't max D are the expos and the sweepers. And this one, I already knew there was a hound in the clan castle, and I know where all the giant bombs are. There's a giant bomb in this left compartment, there's a giant bomb in that top compartment, the right compartment, and the last one is in the core beside that sweeper. So this bottom compartment right here just has small bombs, and that's it. So I go ahead and send in a giant and 3 hogs, I believe, to take down this archer tower, and then trip the bomb, and also get the clan castle there. So it's pretty efficient just for 20 troop space. Can definitely justify doing that. And then I pull the hound to the corner just with 2 archers and a healer. And that's just another trick you can do if there's a hound in the clan castle. That hound's going to be over there beating on those archers for the remainder of the raid. So I drop down the 2 golems from the right side. I go ahead and drop the wizards down to create the funnel. Queen goes down, and then as soon as these buildings start to go down, I drop my wall breakers to get the golems inside. And the last wall breaker actually runs up and trips that bomb for me, and that's nice. So that means that no wizards are going to get hit by the giant bomb right there. So the king pulls aggro onto the enemy queen and takes her out. And as soon as I see her go down and they're starting to jump to the core, I begin my surgical portion of the attack. So I drop a giant, and then just like the last one, 3 hogs per point defense. And then as soon as they go down, I drop a heal spell for them to help them make it through that giant bomb and to sustain them for the remainder of the raid. And then since the left side, I already tripped the giant bomb, I didn't even give them a heal there, which it was close. They just barely made it through. My second heal in the core this time was a lot better and a lot more useful than the last raid because there were actually hogs still alive. And there's also a golem tanking too. So last giant goes down at the bottom, and then just my last 9 hogs on those point defenses. And then as soon as those point defenses go down, I drop the last heal spell just to make sure they're healed up for the remainder of the raid in case they hit a giant bomb, which they shouldn't because they've all been triggered at this point. And from there, it is just cleanup. So yeah, that one went more smoothly than the first one, obviously because it's a lower base, and it had been scouted. And you can see just that lava hound did absolutely nothing that entire raid. So if you know there's a lava hound there, you can always do that. See, 5 through 7 are all hog attacks. I'll probably show bang because this was a pretty good base. The layout itself is actually pretty solid because it looks like there could be a good amount of double giant bomb spots. But after looking at it, there's not any logical ones except for maybe one right there between the archer tower and mortar. But even then, it's not good pathing. And the double giant bomb actually ends up being right here, which was a really bad idea. Banks does lose a few hogs there because it was a fresh hit and he didn't know it was there. But it was still not enough to break this raid. So yeah, gets the lure with a couple hogs there and takes down that archer tower. And then he sends the kill squad in from the top up here, with dropping a couple barbs just to keep them distracted so his witches stay up. And I like that. It's a very effective way to kill the clan castle. And then he just 2-finger drops his hogs from the top right here. The first kill may have been a bit premature, but I guess he was anticipating a giant bomb there. Second hill was really well placed, and then the last hill just to keep that smaller group of hogs that went to the left up. So you can see the hogs pathed really nicely through that base, and had a few more split left, they would have met back up at the exact same time. But other than that, it was still like a really nice hog split, and you can see he does lose some right here, I think. Actually, he may have just lost him from the single bomb, but I know there is another bomb right there. I don't know what actually ends up tripping it, though. It might be this wizard. Yep, wizards trip it. But still, he has some hogs left up because he got that nice split on them, and he has enough cleanup troops to take out the remainder of the base. So nice job, Banks. All right. Let's see. Do I want to show all these? Oh, are we on time? Yeah, I guess. So here's Shrek's attack. Another fresh hit. Another hog also. And this one, I told him to anchor at the bottom with a minion because that was the only thing out of range, and I completely forgot that loons don't move and target the minions. I didn't even think about that. So he has to blow a good amount of wizards right here on the kill squad just to get the balloon over there, and he has to blow the king too. So it was really close right here, but he does manage to get the CC taken out. But it means he's not going to have any cleanup troops. So another two-finger drop. And you can see with just bases like this where there's no logical, or actually this one doesn't even have any possible double giant bomb spots. All the bombs are going to be outside the base, and as long as your heals are fine, you will just completely wreck the base. The hogs ended up pathing together nicely right here at the top, so that way he can heal all of them after they split. So they're back to full health now as the last few defenses are going down, and they'll only have to backtrack to that last cannon. And you can see he only has, see, somehow those widgets survive, so that's nice, but other than that, it is just those hogs doing the cleanup. But if you have that many hogs left, then you're definitely fine as far as cleanup goes. So nice work, Shrek. Okay. I'll go ahead and show spaces too. We just had some really smooth hog attacks this warp. I mean, these bases aren't anything to like just be in all over, but it's still kind of hard getting used to the heals for hogs. So Space anchors the clan castle to the top, and then drops his kill squad, following behind with two wizards. I like that. Get them down simultaneously and far enough back so that they will not get targeted. And he also opted to go ahead and drop the king down and let him just do some tanking. The poison spell right there may have been unnecessary, but that's okay. So now he's going to do like an Asian wall of hogs on this top left side right here. And with the way this base is set up, even if there was a giant bomb right there, they don't path to it. And he's able to hold his first heal for a long time, and I like that. It's kind of hard sometimes, like being patient with the heal spells, and it's good when you can know how long to hold it and just how much life your hogs will have, basically, to where you can justify saving it for a little bit longer or having to drop it. And you saw too there that he had 7 wizards left for cleanup, so that's just going to be complete annihilation of the base. So nice job, Space. Cleanup is definitely not going to be an issue. King's doing cleanup, Witches doing cleanup, Hogs, Wizards doing cleanup. Just a really smooth attack. So nice job, Space. Alright, Big Tim's attack. Oh, maybe. Man. Circle of Death. So this base is a very... Well, it's not as common now, but it used to be really common back when dragloon first became popular, because this base is basically what made dragloon popular. And with the new meta of the game, the last update, you'll see Big Tim implementing this strategy. Actually, you can just take down a level 6 air defense with 2 lightning spells. They have to be level 5, so you can take down a level 6 air defense with 2 level 5 lightning spells and a quake spell of any level. And that's obviously better than taking 3 lightnings, because you now can use a rage for your loons or for your dragons, depending on what exactly you're trying to get accomplished. So for bases like this now, dragons became even stronger. So you can see 2 zaps almost took out that air defense completely, and then the quake takes it out the rest of the way. And then he goes in from this corner here, which going in from a corner can be kind of risky, but I kind of get why he did it, to stay away from the sweeper completely. So drops the first 2 dragons down on the farthest most left and the farthest most right, just to get the troops funneled in. And you can see he funneled them very nicely right there, because all of the dragons are going to the core. CC troops come out, and his loons are going straight to the core. Look at that. First thing they target is that air defense. And then boom, archer tower down, and then the dragons locked on for the air defense, so the air defense is not even targeting the loons, and the loons just make it through the entire core and just completely destroy the core. And at that point, there is virtually nothing that can even target the loons or the dragons for the remainder of the raid. And it's just going to be cleanup. So you can see he just completely wrecked that base. Let's see, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 dragons alive, and that's just amazing. So he has 70% of his dragons still alive at the end of this raid, unless one of them died. Unless one of them died. One or two may have died, but still nice attack, Big Tim. And again, guys, sorry for the voice. Season's changing here in East Tennessee, so of course I'm going to get a cold. What are the odds? Okay, let's show Banana's attack. This is also another very old and outdated base. And he didn't even put his clan castle in the middle. He's like, I'll just put a mortar in there. Why not? And this base is the Town Hall 8. I think it's called Town Hall 8 Ring Base. Yeah, that sounds right. And it's usually hogged, but since this one had level 5 air defenses, we got Banana to do the drag attack on it, or well, dragloon attack. And you can see that she does have to use the 3 lightning spells because she does not have earthquake spells yet. So had she had earthquake spells, she could have destroyed the base even more. So I like the king getting down for the funnel, and then a really good spread with the dragons. And then the only thing she does that like kind of worried me, she opted to hold the loons later, but you'll see that they actually did more because of that. So the air defense is already going to go down by these dragons, but the only things left now that can target the dragons are going to be those archer towers. And when dragons get caught up on storages, they can be a big problem because the archer towers can just sit there and pick them off as the dragons are fighting through those high hit points structures. Whereas with the loons, they just path around all the buildings and go straight to the defenses. And since the drags are tanking for them, you'll see she doesn't lose hardly any loons here. And I added it up, and she ended up taking down 8 defenses with just the loons. So that's crazy value. And had she had dropped the loons earlier just to take out that air defense, I don't know if she would have gotten it because the back end archer towers were behind a lot of high hit point structures. So a nice job, Banana. Solid attack there. See some loons chase the king around. That's always fun. And then the last gold mine goes down. So nice attack, Banana. Let's see. Any more bases? What is this base? Typical little compartmented base. Alright, oh gosh, 18 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I think that's going to be all for this war recap, guys. So you can see we performed pretty well this war. Got all but 2 stars. And we also managed to clear all the Town Hall 8s without having to have a Town Hall 9 dip, so that's always good. And, yeah, guys, I guess that's it for now. Stay frosty.